I have a big old mess. All right. All right. Hello, hello. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm doing good, thank you, love. I hope you're doing good too. I'm just getting myself a little organized. I'm a tad cluttered today. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes while we're all gathering and see if I can't make a little bit of sense of this mess. I'm not counting on it. However, stranger things have happened. A sec. All right, just had to throw out a handful of stuff and now we are good. Hello, everybody. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing, love? Teeny piggies in the snow globe. Oh my God, wouldn't that be so cute? How you doing, Jan? It's good to see ya. Hi, Marie. Cindy, hi. Hi, Betty. Oh my goodness, we got all kinds of people here today. It's so good to see you guys. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update and then we'll kind of jump in and paint some stuff. Hi, Molly. Hi, Diane. How you doing, Molly? Taking some breaths, my dear? I hope you're taking care of yourself. So, on the mug party last night, I went to Michael's and I bought new paints. And so then we painted last night. This is last night's design. I did realize that the copper and the espresso do not have a lot of contrast. So when the spiral kind of gets lost in there as far as the color scheme goes, but I'm still happy with this. But of course, and now I'm still on a fix to keep painting with these colors. So you're going to be seeing a lot of these colors over the next little while. I'll show you the other ones that I got because they're pretty freaking cool and I can't wait to use them. Carolyn's hanging in there. Good. I'm so glad. Everything is going good here. Thank you. Getting settled in more and more every day here at Mom's. We're getting used to each other. We're getting used to new routines. Audrey's getting more comfortable, so we're definitely making progress, that's for sure. Yeah, this is, my mom's apartment overlooks a graveyard and some strip malls and some grocery stores, pretty busy street. There's a school over there too, but yeah, the apartment overlooks a graveyard. Oh, Molly, I hope that you're doing okay. I send you lots and lots of love, my dear. I'm glad you're able to pop in and say hi and just know that we're sending you lots of love, okay? Lots of virtual hugs coming your way to get through a sad day, okay? We love ya. Hey, Erin, how you doing? Diane, the brand depends on what I'm doing. So when I'm painting on ceramics or glass, I will use multi-surface paints, but I'll use multiple brands. My favorite is Folk Art, but I also like the Craft Smart brand. And then the ones that I bought are Folk Art, Craft Smart, and this other Treasure Gold, which is a multi-surface paint. I'm gonna just turn a light on here because color's not picking up very good today. So let's see. So this color is called Aquamarine. And actually here, let me stir it up. So there's the color. Like, look at this color. It's so freaking cool. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's like molten metal that you're painting with. It's absolutely delightful. But it's just wonderful. You can see me in the Christmas ornament. Hi. When I grew up, I lived across the street from a graveyard. Right? It does explain a lot, doesn't it? The ones on the cup, sorry, Diane. The ones on the cup were Craft Smart was the espresso brown. Folk Art is the antique copper, and I did use this as the little detail dots in between. So those were the ones that I used. Espresso in premium metallic multi-surface, antique copper in Folk Art multi-surface, and then aquamarine in the treasure gold. I know, good job. I am dressed. I know. I put on actual clothes today. I even showered today. I'm feeling really pulled together. Well, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. You have been gone a long time, Carolyn. So, okay, an update on the trailer. So, it didn't go well. There were a lot of issues that we didn't know that the camper had until we got into rainy season. There were a lot of leaks, ended up getting with some mold issues. I haven't sold the camper yet. I might sell it, or I might keep it and do a full gut job because it's still structurally really good. And if it could get cleaned and like tear out the carpet and pull down the walls and redo some stuff, but it would be a full gut job. It was wonderful out there, but then the other thing that kind of came up is that my mom needed some assistance as well. So my dad is in a nursing home, and my mom was having a hard time being alone. We actually found out after taking her for some tests, her doctor got her in for some tests, she has actually torn a tendon in her shoulder. So no wonder she's been in so much pain, and she has a really hard time kind of moving around. So now we're waiting to get her in for surgery. So it was kind of like we almost had a feeling that stuff was coming where the need would be there for both of us to be living here. It was something that we had talked about a couple of times, but I'd kind of really brushed off. I'd really resisted it, to be brutally honest. But it just makes sense for all of us right now. Financially, it makes sense for me. It gets me out of the moldy camper. It keeps me close to mom and dad so that I can help them both more. Dad is more relaxed that I'm here with mom. I'm more relaxed that I'm here with mom because I'm not worried about, getting a phone call and being 45 minutes away. I have incredibly stable internet here, which is lovely. So I can do what I need to do to run my business as a business, which I wasn't able to do out there consistently. So yeah, I think I'm going to be selling it. I might keep it until next year and then gut it and see what I can do. But the other thing that comes into play is that it was a fifth wheel trailer, and I don't have a fifth wheel hookup for my truck. The lease on my truck is actually up. I'm going to start driving my mom's car for the next little while. So there's a lot of things that it was a wonderful idea, and if things had fallen into place quickly after purchasing the camper, I think things could have been different. However, they obviously weren't meant to be different, because if they were meant to be different, they would have been different. So we're looking at all of the positives for this, and right now everything feels really good to be here. Hello, Barb and Donut World. I had a couple other of these paints. I don't know where they are. They're packed away here somewhere. I wonder. Oh, no, there they are. When I was a member of the Plaid Ambassador program, I'm still technically a member, but they have not had it active in a while. So I have the rose gold, the pink zircon. Let me just shake it up and I'll show you. This one is kind of a pink metallic. It's not quite as delicious as the aquamarine. They also have a beautiful kind of mauve, which is gorgeous. So I've got the gold, the silver, and the rose. And then I bought this the other day. It was one of those purchases where I picked it up and put it down about 6 different times before I finally just said, oh, don't be stupid, just buy it. So I did. I knew that I would have buyer's remorse. I would have remorse if I didn't buy it. And it's a multi-surface paint, which is nice. Now, it doesn't come with instructions on how to bake them, but I have used them and in conjunction with the other paints and been able to bake them perfectly fine, and they have held really well. Well, and that's a possibility too, Jan. The problem is that if I'm not up at the farm, I don't know if I need it for storage. You know what I mean? Because I'd have to leave it out there. And I'm now living with my mom. I'm still in the process of moving in, but yeah. So if I was to do a full gut, I could turn it into a really beautiful little tiny home and redo everything and make it look really well and make it very livable, but it would take an awful lot of capital at this particular point. That was the other thing too, is that in order to get it ready for winter, never mind the leaks, that I'd have to reseal the entire roof because it was leaking everywhere. I was going to have to bleach out the entire inside, and I was going to have to dig a septic and have the trailer moved into its permanent position where the septic could be dug. So that was going to cost me another $1,200 just to get it ready for winter. There were so many different things that kind of came into play there, and it was like the perfect storm. And Mom was kind of living the perfect storm here. She hadn't let me see an awful lot of what was going on, and what I did see, I was in denial. A lot of denial around it. So, yeah, I think I might, I'm probably going to try and sell it. And then when I am ready to get my own vehicle again, when things potentially change and I can even be on the road for significant amounts of time, I'll look at that. But for the foreseeable future, I am going to be living with Mom, whether it's in this apartment. We might move one day. I envision being able to move us into a really nice place with a nice balcony and like maybe a newer place or anything like that. So that's always possible too. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, it is. It's a win-win. Like I said, my dad doesn't worry as much because he knows that I'm here, and he was worried about Mom being alone. I was worried about Mom being alone. I was worried about Dad worrying about Mom and all the stuff going on there. So it's really worked out well. My sister retired to take care of my mom and my sister. It's hard. It's really hard, right? But we're doing it. The two of you were typing in sync, weren't you? Oh, my mom does not like cigars. No, but yeah, I wish she did. I really wish she did. Can I tell you, Jimmy Earth, I had to medically retire, so I moved in with my daughter and her family. I help with the kids. Oh, I'm so glad you have your daughter to do that. That's wonderful. And you get some really good time, right? You get some good time with your daughter. You get some good time with your grandkids. That's wonderful. Oh, that's cool, Diane. That's cool. What are you going to do with it? That's so amazing. Yeah, this paint, so the mauve that they had too was very much like this, where it was like liquid metal, right? Like when you open this up and you see it hit, like, are you kidding? Like, look at this. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, this stuff. I put it on as a base coat on a stone. Let me show you what the stone looks like. So instead of a black base coat, I used the blue. And I mean, really, it's like so opaque. The camera never does it justice. It is like looking at brushed metal. It's amazing. So I would definitely recommend those paints. I'll show you the other ones that I bought as well. Ooh, you just ordered some Jo Sonia. Oh, cool. I'm sure they're going to be just as wonderful, Kathy. Hi, Nancy. How you doing? Oh, Marie just got her Jo Sonia paints in. That's amazing. Yeah, the Treasure Gold is expensive. I bought this one at Michael's. It was $20, and then I used my 40% off coupon. That's the only reason I bought it, is because I could use a 40% off coupon on it. Tear it down, bring all the tear down material to the graveyard. Right? Exactly. Like there was a part of me, Jan, where I was just like, you know what? If some kind of like, it would be great if a tree fell on the camper. You know, like I was starting to feel like that, and everything was feeling so heavy. And you guys know how many times I banged my head against that wall trying to do my lives out there. And it absolutely crushed me. I felt like I was letting everybody down. I had no motivation to pick up and try anything, like try again and keep going. It was really beating me down, and I was not doing a good job of keeping my head above water. And the one thing that I can honestly say is, as different as it is, I mean, I haven't lived with people in about 14 years. I've lived completely by myself. Until the farm, I was living alone for about 13 years. And then out in the camper again, I was alone, but I haven't done that in a very long time. But even with that being so different and such a change, I'm not constantly worried. I'm not worried about my business anymore. Because I know that when I have those moments of inspiration and motivation and I can move myself forward, that I'm going to do so successfully. I'm not scared of what's going to happen every month with money and my bills. My cost of living just by moving in here is going down by about 2/3. So I'll be paying about 35 to 40% of what my monthly expenses were before. That's game changing, because then I can invest more into my business and getting stuff done. Like, they finally have gypsum back in stock, so I'm going to be able to order a couple of boxes soon, you guys, and have a blank tea light candle holders and stones and hearts and all of that sort of stuff. There's so much stuff that I'm going to be able to do that this really feels like such a good move forward. And it's so wonderful to not be constantly worrying all the time. Yeah, Marie, I think you and Jan would get along really well. 90, wow. I hope I live to see 90. I hope I live to be really old. I want to yell at people when they cross my lawn. I want to do all of that fun stuff. I want to be a fun, crotchety old person. I think that's going to be great. Oh, shells would be beautiful, eh? Hi, Kim. How you doing? Anniversary follower. You've been with me for over a year now, Kim. And I know you, and I love you. I brought the quilt that you made me here, and Audrey sleeps on it all the time because it's her favorite blanket. Yeah, so this treasure gold, I highly recommend it. It's super, super, super fun. Now, Hofcraft was having a huge sale. Nice. Sonali Lama, hello, love. How are you? It's wonderful when there's a great big sale, right? I did this with my adopted mom this year. She was my very best friend, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was extremely hard work at the end, but it was worth it to be with her. Well, and that's the thing, right? We got to look at the positives. I would have regretted not doing this. And to be completely selfish, there's a lot of positives for me in it as well. So I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. And I think that is going to be such a key for me in staying in a good place and being the best me that I can be for my mom, which is someone who is loving and patient and kind. And that's not always who I've been, especially not with my mom. My mom and I have butt heads for years, and we were not nice to each other a lot of that time. So this feels very healing for both of us, and which is nice. Oh, is Lily here? It's good to see you too, Sonali Lama. It's so wonderful to see you. We missed you. Yeah, the coupons at Michael's save everything, right? And I totally knew what you were saying. It's totally okay. No, that's the hard part online. You got to use it in the store. I definitely want to try and make it out to see you soon, Kim. I'll keep you posted for sure. You're already that old crotchety woman? Good, then spunky. Hi, Lisa. Has calmed so much since you made this move. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I feel that, and I'm so glad that that comes across. I want to be fun to be around again, and I wasn't fun to be around. I just wasn't. And I want to be fun to be around again. And the fact that you can feel my energy shifting means so much, Lisa. Thank you. I love you guys. My God, I love you. Catherine, hi, love. Ultra Cal, will you be shipping? I will be needing these things in pre-made stones. Yes, you mentioned Amelia has moved to Florida. So yes, I was able to get Ultra Cal. I have to place the order and get it delivered, but I'm going to be ordering 2 50-pound boxes. So I'm going to be making stones that are this size. I'm going to be making 3-inch stones. Here, I'll show you the difference. I don't know if I have all the different sizes. This is the 3-inch stone. I will be making, I had to reach 4-inch stones. I'll be doing tea light candle holders. I will be doing these flat hearts, which are awesome. And I will be doing some puffy hearts as well. And my hope is to get more molds and do more fun stuff. I do have some little tiny planter, like pots, flower pots. I do have some molds for those too that I can always do. Oh, thank you, Cindy. So I don't have the tea light heart mold, but there's different ones that I can add to my list eventually and increase that. But that's, I've got the large round tea light holder for the mold. What else do I have? Yeah, so I've got those little mini stones. I've got the 3-inch, the 4-inch, the flat heart, and the puffy heart. And the tea light and the 2 little flower pots. And I mean, they're tiny, 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 but they're cute though. What, Jan? That doesn't make sense. That's crazy. We'll get you one. Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, I really like the puffy hearts too. It's my first one that I want to buy another mold. I'm so lucky. The flat hearts is a mold that actually Jan got me as a gift. And it's wonderful because I can make 6 of them at a time. But the puffy heart mold is just a single mold. So I want to order a couple more puffy heart molds and start to look at some of the other different molds that I can make, that I can start to sell some blanks and have those in stock. Yes, Miss Cat Molly, I did. I was so excited that I called them and I said, how about now? I've been calling once a month for the last 6 months. How about now? Do you have it now? And she said yes, and I did a little dance around. So yeah, I get it from Sculpture Supply Canada. That's so cool, Miss Cat Molly. Oh my gosh, no problem, Elizabeth. Keep me posted with that sort of stuff. Now I want to show you the other paints that I got because of course I didn't only buy this paint. I bought the espresso that I showed you, that on the mug, and the antique copper, which is wonderful, right? Those are the 2 colors, other 2 colors on the mug. Now I also, here I'll just show you in the paint pots. So this is the espresso, and then I got one called light bronze. Let me turn on another light here, see if that helps. So then I got a light bronze. So they're just a little bit lighter than each other. And then they had, this one is called Midnight Blue, and it's Craft Smart. It's like a navy blue metallic. And then I got this one, which is a Craft Smart metallic as well. This one is called Pewter. And when I put it, this is what I really like, right? I put it with the navy. I put it with these 2, and look at that cool color combo. Right? Isn't that cool? So I got the navy. I got the pewter, which I love. Is kind of like a denim-y blue. And then the one that really got me, I got to show it to you straight out of the bottle because this is the one that it literally took my breath away in the store. It's a folk art and it's called Malachite. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, isn't that freaking amazing? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So of course, when I came home with those paints, I had to play, right? So I played with everything except for the antique copper on this little star because I already had used the antique copper before. So I wanted to play with these ones. But look at these. And look at the dots too. They're perfection. There's no bubbling. There's no cracking. Well, there's a little bit of bubbling on the light blue, but that's the other one. But prepaid for it, cost a lot to ship to Thunder Bay, but so worth it. Totally. Totally. I'm that crotchety old go-to neighbor's dog escaped one morning and was running marathons along the was busy street. Poor pup couldn't catch him. Later he comes by again and his owner pulls up in a van with a kid. Told her pup was wandering all day. She lost her shit. Told me then just call animal services. Bitch told her I don't need snot from her. Oh my God. Yeah, $52. When I ordered from Sculpture Supply to get it out to Campbellcroft, the box was $35 for the 50-pound box, and then shipping was $30. So, but it's still cheaper than getting it on Amazon. You can't get the 50-pound boxes on Amazon at all. Aren't they beautiful colors, you guys? Sure. Let me put them together. I'll tilt my camera up at a proper angle here in a second so you can see the colors. So take your first screenshot. Take your screenshot. 1, 2, 3. And then your next screenshot is these 3. Okay. So that is the new color scheme. So of course I want to play with this today. I'm loving these so much. I really want to use the blues and do blue on blue with this one. With this one, I really, really want to do the green and the green and white and gold and make it like super Christmassy. I think on this one, I'd like to do the pale blue, like just the aquamarine and maybe a little bit of white. That's what I'd like to do on this one. And then I bought this too. I bought this plastic snow globe. It's not one that I bought thinking that I'm going to start selling them or anything because I think the plastic part is kind of cheap, obviously. But I was thinking it would be a cool idea to just try it and see what happens. So what I want to do is I want to paint the outside of it, fill it with water, and then have that be the snow on the inside, but not actually put anything in the snow globe. And just to see how it works. So I bought some glitter that I'd throw in there, shake it up after it's got a pretty mandala design drawn all the way around it. And then that might be an idea to look for next year. Ones that are actually glass and wood would be ideal, right? So just fun stuff to play with, right? When you spend $1 or $2 and you can get some ideas and even just get an idea out of your system sometimes is nice too. Right? That I know that malachite that was the one, Marie, that I was in the store and I opened it and I just went, oh, and immediately threw it in my basket. And it looks beautiful, doesn't it? And it's so nice. They're so smooth. And this little star is just a cheap little crappy wood cutout thing, right? But I love these colors together. So yeah, you're going to be seeing an awful lot of these colors over the next little while, especially on mugs and everything. It'll be happening. Yes, I would really like to do the red ornament with the malachite today, with the malachite and some gold and some white. So that's what I would like to start with. I'd really like to start with this ornament today and start working with that. But I just love it so much. Yeah. So for what it's worth, though, I bought those 6 bottles of paint plus the folk art, the treasure gold, and I spent $35. So yeah, it was a lot of money, but at the same time, it wasn't that much money. It wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. They are all multi-surface. All multi-surface. 10-pound box on Amazon is $70. That's ridiculous. Absolutely insane. So I'm going to see, because these guys I got at Dollar Tree, I don't know if I can take the top off of them. I'm spinning and nothing is happening, so that would be a no. I'm going to get scissors and we're going to cut this tag off. And I'm going to do the wraparound design. Because this is kind of a cheap, shitty ornament, like it's not a nice glass one, there's imperfections all over the place. I really want to cover as much of this with some design as I can. So we're going to do a lot of going all the way around. So let me find my scissors. That's the trick, is that I still don't know where everything is. So let's see. Oh, look at that. I still don't know where everything is, and I have managed to create myself some pretty significant junk drawers. $35 for a 50-pound box, and shipping and taxes is $99. Yeah. But it's still worth it, right? Like you said, it's still so worth it. Right? The metallics are amazing. All right, let's go. So, I don't know if this is going to matter on a plastic ornament or not, but I am going to wipe it down with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Just not enough to soak it or anything. It's not going to pull anything off. I'm just using a candle holder that I got at the dollar store to hold this in. Didn't plan it that way, didn't buy it to be this way. It just was something I had at home and it worked. Okay, and it pulled a little bit of glitter off the ornament, but nothing major. So, and actually I think I'm just going to take and just wipe it down with water, with a wet cloth. I think that'll be just as good. It's not like ceramics where it's going to really pick up a lot of the oils and stuff, and if I just clean it off and at least get the dust off, right? So we'll do that. Gotta hold it up against myself for a second here. All right, so yeah, this is just a candle holder I got at the dollar store, and it fits perfectly. All right, so let's pull this up here. I'll try and turn it this way maybe a little bit. We'll see if that is sustainable. All right, so we got the green. I do have a white pearl. Sorry, Friends reference for anybody who's paying attention. Pearl. From one of the best episodes of Friends, in my opinion. Do you varnish your plastic ornaments after the paint is dry? No. What I do instead is I still use multi-surface acrylic paints that will air cure after 21 days. So I do that. Now, I've given them to friends and recipients of them before the 21 days is up, and they're still okay, but they just have that extra bit, because half the time you can let them air cure while hanging on the tree, right? All right, so how are we going to start this? How are we going to start it? All right, we are going to start with a size 2. So no, I don't. I haven't found any good varnishes, honestly, because I've tried spray varnishes, I've tried hairspray, I've tried nail polish, I've tried brush-on varnishes, I've tried polyurethane. None of it worked well without it going cloudy. So the multi-surface paints, being that they will cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe on ceramics, I figure that is the safest way to go without having to risk ruining things after you've already painted them, because that's devastating, right? That being said, if anybody has found or used a varnish on plastic ornaments that has worked well for you, please share. So I'm eyeballing here, you guys. And I'm going to start with my white pearl. We're winging it here. You're welcome. Need a little bit more paint on this one. It's a little bit small. So there's still a lot of stuff coming down the pipes, you guys. One of the fun parts about being here is that I have a whole ton of ideas on what I want to do going forward. And I'm definitely do not have a shortage of ideas. One of the things that I would like to do at some point is to do a live where I can just get some feedback from you guys. What do you want to see that I'm not doing yet? What do you want to see that I've done before that you'd like to see more of? I really want to make sure that I'm not running away off in a direction that is not useful. I mean, I'm still going to do what I want to do, but at the same time, if there's stuff that it's just not on my radar that would be valuable to you, I'd love to talk about that more. I'm going to be doing a ton of stuff too. We're going to start doing some lives with the deck of cards where we kind of sit down together and kind of have like a little bit of a deep breathing session and choosing a card together and being able to all just sit and paint our own creations for that. I want to be able to do that a little bit too. There's so many things that I want to do, and there's so many things that I just want to paint because I have all these stuff sitting around just waiting for me to paint it. So I'm gonna try and set up some time where we can all get together every once in a while and just kind of talk about what we're working on. How can we maybe support each other through our projects, all that different stuff, and to just see what else you'd like to see. I find that with these tutorials, this is where my mind is struggling as I'm looking at the Patreon saying, you know, sooner or later, there's going to be so many tutorials in that Patreon that it makes me wonder who's going to want to sit there and go through 150 different tutorials, you know, after I'm doing this once a week for a couple of years. And maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but if you are a member of the Patreon, one thing that I want to do is, and that I've been talking about since I launched the cards and looking at, is creating some patterns. I wonder if that would be more valuable than having tutorial recordings. I'm not sure. Like having regular patterns every month, I don't know if that's going to be better, and then just put the tutorials on YouTube. But I don't know. My mind is going a mile a minute to try and kind of make sure that I'm doing stuff that makes sense for all of us, right? I want it to make sense for me, for sustainability, and I want to make sure that it makes sense for you so that you want to interact with it, right? So there's a whole bunch. I'm going to pre-order those cards on November 1st. Oh, I'm so glad you like that. Pattern idea is perfect. Okay. So, because, I had some great suggestions. Kathy Mahan, you suggested that I film it and just show the tools and show the paints with every row and everything, and I can easily create some patterns out of that. So I am going to jump forward on that. So there's all kinds of different ideas, but if anything pops into your head of something that you feel is missing from the community that would be valuable to you, please let me know. I want to try and fill those voids if it's something that I feel that I can offer of value, right? I want to fill those voids, especially if there's things that you're frustrated with that maybe there's something that I can help with, you know? The YouTube idea. So I was thinking, what if we did like patterns and mug party, a couple mug party recordings every month as the Patreon instead of every Saturday recordings, and then the Saturday recordings could go on YouTube, but then do like the paint with me parties. Those recordings could go on Patreon. I don't know how to quite manage that. I'm also looking for some help in a couple different places, and I don't know what it would look like, but if it's something that you would have any suggestions for, I would love to hear it. Oh, and sorry, I used a size 2 on the white row, and I'm using a size 3 right now of the DIY mandala stones. I'm going every other space because it gives me another point of reference for centering, and I can kind of correct some spacing. So if you haven't heard me talk about this already, when you go every single space one after the other, you're completely held hostage to lining yourself up with the gaps in the row before, right? So if the row before has any issues with spacing, every row thereafter, since it's built on that, is going to have those same issues. Whereas if I do every other, when I go to place this dot now, I'm not just looking at where is it lining up with that gap, but I'm looking at, is it halfway between these two? Okay. Let me catch up on comments here really quickly. Patterns on Patreon, YouTube has tutorials. I'm happy with whatever you do as I get the joy from social media. Well, and we're still going to do a ton of live stuff, right? Like I want to be able to maybe go live on YouTube, go live on Instagram, go live on Facebook, go live on TikTok. I want to start streaming on Twitch. I want to do a ton of lives, right? Tutorials on YouTube is better. And that's what I was thinking as well. I think that would be really good content to go there. Oh, thank you guys. Okay. Hi, Jody. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. If on YouTube you don't get... What? If on YouTube I don't get income? Well, yeah, that's true because it's not the Patreon. So I would have to find something to put on the Patreon to kind of migrate people over to that, right? I'm going to go back to the white actually, and I'm going to use a size 4 this time. I thought you were not going to share the recordings of the mug parties beyond those who took it. Well, and that's, again, I have something I have to look at, right? So the mug parties, right now, you buy a ticket to the mug party and you get the recording that goes with it. But what I could do is I could make those recordings available as part of the Patreon and make the tickets for the mug party less expensive. Because I'm guessing there's a lot of people who maybe want to come to a mug party and don't really care about the recording. They might want to just keep coming for the paint with me stuff, right? And then people who actually wanted the recordings could do it through Patreon. That's an option. Purchase a pattern to help you start. Okay. I like the idea of Patreon being special, something you can't get in. Yeah, I think so too, Jan. So as an existing Patreon member, what I would have to do is I would have to create new tiers and basically kick everybody out of the other 2 tiers if they're not going to be stuff that I'm offering anymore and get you guys to re-sign up. How stressful is that for you? And number 2, the other thing that I am thinking I can do is Shopify now has an option where you can get a monthly subscription. So I could create a subscription of patterns through my Shopify and take it off of Patreon entirely. Patterns, okay. Yeah, I think what she meant, Maria, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, but eventually I can get income on YouTube, and that would be really, really nice. But I think because when I'm taking something that I'm getting income for on Patreon and moving it to YouTube, I'm losing that Patreon income at the beginning. Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, and that's the thing too, right? Because I can take clips of everything that I do and I can take pieces of it and I can put it everywhere else to create my content, right? And then drive people to YouTube. And then my YouTube can drive people to my Patreon and to my website and all of that, like in conjunction, right? I know you don't stress ever. I think so too, Catherine. I think lives are incredibly important, and I don't want to give them up. I enjoy these way too much. And so if I can take these and take every single recording and chuck it onto YouTube, and then people don't have to pay to do this, it might even drive live attendance too, right? Which would be really fun. Hi, Jill. Don't think you should reduce the price of the painting party. I think $20 for a 2-hour class is not expensive. Oh, thank you, Jill. Okay, so we keep the price with that, and then I can still give people who buy the ticket access to the video, and otherwise I can throw them into Patreon as an exclusive thing, or just not even offer the video to people who buy the ticket and let them know it's on Patreon. That would work. Thank you, guys. Can you do once a month free pattern and then, yeah, exactly. No, there's no other group that I'm live in. Patreon right now is $13 US a month. Personally, paying for Mug Party and Patreon is redundant. I would pay more for Patreon to get only on Patreon. Gotcha. Nope, that makes total sense. Thank you. Yeah, I can share my lives to my own Facebook group, the Dot Mandala Addicts. So that's huge. Okay, thanks, guys. All right, well, this is great. This has given me a lot of stuff to go on and help me to kind of redo a bunch of stuff. Now, okay, so I did size 2, 3, and 4 to get me all the way to here, and I think that is more than enough white and gold, and it's now time for the malachite. I think that we've wasted enough time not doing the malachite. So I'm going to choose nice big dots for that first row. And we're going to add some walking dots on there too. There's a whole bunch of other places that I can share links to the YouTube videos and all of that sort of stuff. So there's a bunch of places, I think. Yeah, but I can't think of any off the top of my head either, Elizabeth. I can't think of the names of them right now. Ooh, look at how pretty. Look. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my God. Oh, I would love to go to Omega. I got to go to a weekend retreat there. Yes, I would love to do that sort of stuff. Love to do that stuff. I am looking at some online auction sites that I'm going to be able to hopefully start participating in to sell some of my artwork as well. But I really would like to expand the workshops and all of that sort of stuff. So this is massively helpful, guys. I'm really appreciate you taking this time to help me with that. Weekend retreats. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing? I'd want to go spend a weekend at Omega in upstate New York. Jill, let's just go. Let's just go there. When I went there the first time, all I kept thinking was that it had total Dirty Dancing vibes, right? Like with the dinner hall and I just felt like I was totally at the Dirty Dancing resort. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I think so too. I think that I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face by not being on YouTube. So, okay. Now, the next thing, and sorry, I am using a size 9 for the green. Okay. Tabitha, hello. How are you? We missed you. Yeah, we totally need to do that, Jill. Oh my gosh, that'd be fun. I loved that place. I went for a meditation retreat, and that retreat changed my life, and that property was just, I don't know what I was expecting before I went there, but yeah, I'd love to do that sort of stuff. I think that would be so much fun. YouTube is the go-to. Yeah, exactly. And so if I want to be part of that world, I need to be on YouTube for that. So I'm going to start working on that sort of stuff. I have a couple other things that I wanted to ask for help / advice on. But first, I am going to do some walking dots in the gold, and I'm going to be using my straight dotting tool and my micro dotter. I'm going to use my straight dotting tool for the peak dots, and then I'm going to use my micro dotter for the walking dots. I bet that's a lot of work, Tabitha. It's wonderful to see you. Okay, so the other thing that I don't know where this is going to come from or any of that sort of stuff is, but I need help with my Facebook group. I am so unbelievably disengaged from that group. And I don't know what kind of value it's providing right now, honestly. I really, really don't. I'm nervous because I have set the no promotion. I'm nervous to promote my own stuff on the Facebook group because I don't know if I'm breaking my own rules doing that. My mind just goes in a million miles of what to do on there. So I'm looking for somebody who would be willing to help me admin the Facebook group. That might be a couple of people. It might be only one person. I don't really know. But if you have any desire to do something like that, please reach out to me and let's chat about what it would look like, because I think that would be absolutely incredible to have some help with that, because I know that I am doing nothing with that Facebook group, and I'm not using it to promote my own business, and I'm nervous about that. So I would take any help that anybody is willing to get me. Well, and that's what I thought, Kathy. And then I thought, well, that I didn't know if that was a shitty way to think, to be honest with you. I'm like, it's mine. I can do what I want. But that's what I wanted to say, but it's mine. I should be able to post my stuff on there, because it's my group. Of course I should be able to. It's my name on there. But I was really confused as to what to do, but I really need some help. So anybody that is willing and able to help, I will take the help. Kathy, Marie, that would be amazing. Can I create a joint Facebook chat? Because I don't know what people even want to see in that. Should we be doing challenges? Should we be doing monthly prizes? Should we be that's what we were doing for a little while. And it was great. But again, I still didn't stay on top of it, Poor Sharon, all of that fell on Sharon, which isn't fair. And I don't want to do that now either. But I'm also realizing that I was not ready to maximize anything with a Facebook group, and I still want to keep Sharon and Barb and all of the OGs as admins on the group, because they answer a lot of questions for me. You guys know that when we're in the chats and everything, because they've been with me for so long, and they've done all of that with me for so long, and that's incredible knowledge to have. But it's a lot to put on one person. So if you do want to help, please know that I'm not asking anybody to take this on like it's their baby. If you want to, you can. If you don't, that's okay too. Even just giving me some direction, like, hey, jackass, put a post on your Facebook group, will ya? I'll take anything I can get. So, for Kathy and Marie, if it's all right, I'll create a Facebook chat in Messenger with us. And then we can kind of go through that sort of stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot to take on, right? And when life is happening at the same time, it's a lot, and that's why, even just the fact that Sharon was willing to do it for as long as she did, my God, that Facebook group wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Sharon. I wouldn't have done it at all. And I have not done a good job at stepping up when she's needed to take a step back and look after herself, So yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. I will create the group chat in Messenger. And for a couple of people, we'll get some admins set up on the group. And yeah, that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing to help. Anne was helping with a craft crisis next door. I hope everything's okay, Anne. It's good to see you. There's so many people here today. There's 25 people here today. Well, and I kind of thought that a little too, Jan, but again, I didn't know the rules, and I'm such a people pleaser. I'm so friggin' scared to stand up for myself half the time, and sometimes I think I do a really good job at it, and then other times I get smacked in the face with the reality of how much I suck at it, you know? Oh. And I think that would be great, Sharon. And I'd like it for anybody who does want to be involved in that to know that they can come and go as they please with it. Nothing is mandatory. Nobody's going to die if something doesn't happen, right? Because I want people to be able to participate when it works for them. Because life is going to happen. I don't want anybody to feel bad for needing to step away or any of that sort of stuff, right? Yeah, some admins and moderators for sure. Oh my gosh, Sharon, of course I'm willing to let you come back. Come on. I've never considered you gone at all. I've considered you taking care of yourself, and you're going to do that as long as you need to. Oh, thank you guys. Awesome. She did an incredible job, didn't she, Jan? Absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Well, and that's what I'd like to grow. Thank you, Marie, because that's the big thing. I would love to grow this. You know, the whole way that this had started was the idea that, you know, I would do this and ask for tips, you know, and anybody who tipped me $5 or more would get a copy of the recording. But I think there's so many other things that just being live can drive for my business and can provide more value for you guys. I want more of you painting, because I see how happy people are when they're painting, and I see how proud of yourselves you are when you create these things of beauty, and I try not to swear too much, but I friggin' love it. I friggin' love it. That's what I want to do. The more people that we can gather into one place that are actively and consciously choosing to spend more time in their day doing something that they love, that's the kind of energy that changes the world as far as I'm concerned. Because there are so many people out there that don't do that. They don't think that they deserve to spend time doing something that they love. And it breaks my heart. So the more people we can allow to be together and do all of this stuff, I think would be amazing. Mom didn't know what to do. Well, that's wonderful that you were there to help, Anne. That's so good. Sharing links for supply web stores. I think I'm all for it. All for it. You're from Greece is still work. I'm still at work and everybody here is watching with me. Hello, everybody in Greece. Hello. Well, and I really appreciate, exactly, admin leave. That's it. It's good. It's perfect. I really appreciate you guys being willing to do this. There's so many things that I want to do. Like, I want to be able to grow my business to the point where I can get somebody who will edit YouTube videos and take care of posting on social media and help me, even just reminding me to post products that are in my store. I paint something, I put a picture of it up once, and then wonder why it's still in my shop 6 months later. Well, because nobody's seen it in 6 months. They forgot it even exists, right? My manager walked in and was listening, and he's perplexed. Who is she talking to? She doesn't let anyone talk, does she? Yep, none of you guys are getting a word in edgewise. I'm taking over. Oh, poor guy. No clue, eh? Bless his soul. Bless his heart. I like that. And maybe it does come to that, to changing the name of the Facebook group. Maybe there's things maybe that's the name of the Patreon, is the Mandala Art Academy. And then I have different levels of lessons and hands-on working together. Maybe the Patreon is where patterns are, but it's also where working one-on-one with me is. If you ever want to work on one-on-one with me, like, let's get together for an hour together and paint, or group sessions, or whatever that is. There's so many things that could happen there, and I'm so unbelievably overwhelmed with how to implement it all. So the fact that you guys are even willing to just sit and talk to me about this stuff, is just yet another reason why I love you. That's okay, Elizabeth. It literally got me through one of my hardest years of my life. If not for this and the community, I 100%, Marie, I wouldn't be here. I love you, Marie. You are so crap. I'm crap. I'm crap at it. Bless your pointed head. Oh my God, your mom said that too. My mom used to say that. Oh, bless your little pointed head. That's amazing. Oh, Jan, do you know how excited I am to meet you guys in person one of these days? I can't wait. Good news, nothing really wrong with my mom. On the other hand, combination of anxiety, arthritis, pain. Well, I'm glad that there's nothing that's going to cause some massive issues there, Sharon. I mean, you probably saw a lot of that coming. You probably could have said, yeah, no kidding that's what's going on with her. You probably saw it clear as day. Yeah, one-on-ones could be fun, eh? Okay. All right. So can anybody who wants to help me with this Facebook group, understanding that I want to make sure it is beneficial to you as well. So let me know what I can do in exchange. Help me figure out if there's anything that I can do to help you. Okay. If you are starting a business and you want to be able to put up a couple posts a month about your own business in the group because you're an admin, I'm fine with that. There's room for all of us out there. Okay. So shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook if you want to be a part of this, because I apologize. I'm remembering Marie and I'm remembering Kathy and anybody outside of that wants to jump in and do little bits here and there. Just shoot me a message and let me know. And we will jump in and see what we can figure out. And I will create the group chat so that we can all chat together about this stuff. So, and Sharon, of course, I'll add you in on that, because that way you're there so that whenever you do want to come back, and you can participate as little or as much as you want to when you feel it. And that goes for everybody, right? So thank you, you guys. This is going to be amazing. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. I'm so excited. This is really exciting. Okay, so I've gone up a size. The peak dot here on the white is the equivalent of a size 2 DIY mandala stones. It was a nail dotting stylus tool, and then I'm using my straight nail dotting stylus tool for the walking dots. Now, I think that we need to have a bunch of swoops in here too. I think that goes without saying, doesn't it? And I'm thinking that we do big green swoops with gold walking dots in between. How do we feel about that? Message you later. Okay, sounds good. Love you, Barb. I hope you... oh my God, that's crazy. Hope the donuts went well today. We'll talk to you later for sure. Love you. Anxiety has caused a bunch of emergency room visits. And that's the hard part, right? Anxiety drives so much of all of this stuff. Oh, I like that, Jerry Lynn. Oh, I'm taking a screenshot of that idea, Jerry Lynn. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, no, Catherine. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Is it fixable, love? And how much? So Catherine is painting on an elephant right now. Her skill has grown so fast, and she is enjoying it so much. I love when you share what you're working on, you guys. That's amazing. Oh, Catherine, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Is anybody else painting along while I'm painting here today? And if you are, what are you working on today? I still have a ton of piggy banks that I need to be doing. I'll show you the ones that I've gotten partway done so far. But today, these Christmas balls were just staring at me. I was waiting for someone to make a smart-ass comment about the fact that I said that I was going to paint the teapot, but then I saw these and I want to play with them today. I was waiting for someone to make a comment about me wanting to play with balls. I'm a little disappointed, Jan. Oh, good. I'm glad it's fixable. Good. Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Jan. And just to have everything on the calendar and be able to know exactly what kind of content needs to be up there. And and with that, I should be able to be more proactive because I can create content ahead of time and schedule it so that I can see it coming up, right? And I would be more than happy to look at that because I'm going to be getting a social media scheduling program that I can use to, what am I saying? That I can use to get my social media posts ready ahead of time. So that'll be really cool. Yeah, it's a really good plan. I could definitely try. Well, Jerry Lynn, and this is the thing. If you want to, you can. You are incredibly busy as well. Anybody and everybody that we're having about this conversation with, this is optional and you do it as you feel like it, right? So just shoot me a message and I'll put you in the group chat. And again, participate as much or as little as you want. What am I gonna do? I feel like I'm missing something in between these dots that I need to fill in. Maybe I don't. You thought it? Good. I feel better. I feel better than Jan. We have advanced from poop to balls. Yes. We're moving up in the world, Elizabeth. Always reaching. We're always reaching for something new. Oh, God. All right, time for some swoops, I think. I aren't playing with just any balls. They're huge. They're huge, and some of them are blue. Hope that didn't sneak past you either. Huge blue balls. Hello to Colleen in South Africa. As I'm talking about huge blue balls. Fantastic. Hello, Colleen. It's good to see you. Just cleaned your tools for your next fun project. Fantastic. What's your project going to be? Erin's working on Santa's beard. Fantastic. The show Wipeout, right? It does too. Oh, God, it does too. All right, let's see how swoops do on this bad boy. I'm hoping that the metal tool doesn't scrape anything off of the plasticky goodness, but it looks all right so far, I think. Marie's in the car, can't paint along this time. Well, if we start getting these on YouTube, then you can paint along anytime you want, right? Let's see, about there, I think. This is one of the times where I can't talk as much. Who knew that there was something that could shut me up? Turns out it's swoops. Big red balls. Right? You guys are amazing. All right, let's keep going. So the good news is the metal tools are not scratching on this because, again, these are plastic, right? These are nothing. But I think they look fairly even. One of the things to continue to remember, too, is that there are higher quality materials that you could use. But until you know you really enjoy something and are going to want to do multiples of it and want to invest the money in, buy the cheap crap for a little while. Play around with it. Figure out what you like and what you don't like, right? Like, I'm much more likely now to go out and invest in red glass ornaments than I would have been before I had done this one, right? So make sure that you're playing with that sort of stuff. You're figuring it out by trial and error, and try with the cheap stuff first, right? I think we're all on the same wavelength, and it's a good wavelength to be on. We have a lot of fun on this wavelength. One of your weird experiments. What is it, Kathy? Tell. And the blue ball ladies want to admin. I know. Lord help us all. Oh, you're doing a bat. That's fantastic. We are way ahead of the comments. I think so. Yeah, you're way ahead of me. Oh, nice, Colleen. That's going to be beautiful. And Kathy's got a flower-shaped cutout. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Purple and yellow. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. Working on waking up. 9-hour shift at the art center. Oh, you're going to be so tired, Jerry Lynn. Anne's also playing with her balls. Fantastic. 18 done, 272 to go. Oh, that's laughing and crying all at the same time, right? Okay, so on the paint on the mug last night, we had the antique copper. Remember when I bought this stuff that was the regular paint, Jerry Lynn, when I've done the other metallic ones like this? This is the exact same color as that antique copper, but it's in a multi-surface. So when I saw they had multi-surface, I did a little whoo-hoo kind of little dance. I was so excited because I wanted to use this on mugs. So antique copper by Folk Art. Now, and then Craft Smart and Espresso is the brown that I used. So I used these two together for the spiral. And then for the detail dots in between, I used the Treasure Gold in Aquamarine, which is basically a light icy kind of blue color. This is the color I want to use on the pink ornament to kind of make it look nice and icy with some white. So those are the three colors. Now the espresso and the antique copper didn't exactly contrast very well, so you kind of the spiral pattern was kind of lost, but it was there. Jan giving you shit. You guys share a brain cell. ROFL means, oh, there you go, Jan's gotcha. All right, let's keep going. Swoop, swoop. So I think the trick with painting ornaments that are quite this big, Barb I know has a great big one too. Barb's got huge balls. And she's got a great big gold one that she's going to be painting. So the trick with that is deciding, am I going to paint a design just on the front? Right now it looks like a tomato. Looks like this could be the new logo for Eastside Mario's. Still a tomato. Right, bada boom, bada bing on the front, and we're done with the mandala on it. Fantastic. Anyways, so the decision is, am I going to go all the way around it and create that whole design, or am I going to do a mandala on the front and have it fill up the space, much like the mugs, right? So both are options, and play with both and see which ones you like, right? For the mugs, for example, they both looked good and you could pick and choose, but the one-sided means that it can only be a left-handed or a right-handed mug, as opposed to the wraparound, which could be a left or a right-handed mug. This means that the ornament can spin anywhere you want it to, but the other one would mean that it would have a right side and a wrong side, right? So kind of play your options with that and figure out what you want to do with that, okay? 5 persons are laughing with tears. Amazing. Yay. Aw, thank you. You're so sweet. Sending you so much love. You guys are on fire. Always go all the way. Well, and that's the thing too, right? Is picking and choosing and figuring out those designs. That's also the stuff I want to work with people on. I'm a bit selfish with the brain cell. I should really understand Jerry Lynn needs it more than I do. Oh my God. All right, so let's do, nope, we need gold. A gold. Yeah, we're going to do gold. All right. So we're going to do gold, but we are going to start small again. So I'm using my straight tool to do some peaks, and I'm going to move the peaks out a little bit further because I actually want to do these where it's a little bit more pointed. So I want to try and get this. And the whole goal with this too, remember that I'm not using guidelines, right? If I was doing painting on a more expensive glass ornament, I would maybe try to find ways to get some guidelines on there. Maybe dry erase marker, something like that to help me keep this even, or try and stick with just the normal petals and everything. Because every time you go into swoops like this, you're risking that your spacing is going to be off and that's not going to be even. And keeping an eye on it as you go around is one thing, but it's still not quite the same, right? So kind of keep that in the back of your head too, is how are you going to keep everything in line? That's not the tool I want. I want to go back to my micro daughter now. So I'm counting there because I want to go out and around to the edge. See how it kind of goes out a little bit? So I'm going 1. There we go. All right. Definitely gonna have to add in some more swoops after. I'm not good yet at getting these exactly the same on both sides. It's hard when you're not going up against the edge of something. I find it hard anyway. But I've never had one turn out so bad that I wanted to throw it out yet. So we'll get there. Thanks, Catherine. I love the micro daughter. Love this micro daughter. Now I did get, so these are on Amazon, the one that you see me using all the time, but I did get a couple at Dollar Tree the other day. They are scoring tools, scoring and puncturing tools. They come in a pack of 2 for $2.15. They've got this little scoring thing at the end, but then look, these things are fantastic. You've got a thin one and you've got a thick one, and they're good for pulling down dots. And they are inexpensive. So this is very similar, as you can see, to my pin, right? So I wouldn't be using these ones for dotting, but they can be really good for pulling down swoops and giving you that nice sharp edge, or doing really, helping to kind of, I think it's really probably the swoops that they're gonna be the most valuable for, maybe a little bit of dotting, but, so yeah, Dollar Tree for a couple of bucks. These are not a replacement for these, not in my mind anyway. They are useful tools in addition to, but they are not a replacement in my head. Right, Kathy? Total game changer, eh? Yeah, I was super, super excited, and thank you again, Jan. I was spoiled. Jan got me them as a gift. Jan spoils me rotten. She gives me so much love. It's wonderful. Oh, awesome, Cindy. I'm glad that this view is helpful. Good. I'm glad you can see it okay. All right. So there's lots of stuff I'm going to have to cover up on this, right? Like some of these imperfections and everything. But again, for one that I'm just practicing to see how I like it, it's a good one to practice it. You're so sweet, Catherine. You said love because I got no money, and I'll take love. I'm happy to take love. I'm good. I'm good. And I feel that. It's all good. I'm happy with the love. You guys are stuck with me. here we go, last one. Oop. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do now a row of walking dots in the white again, just like the row before, but then we're going to finish it off with some swoops that are going to join these a little bit. So I'm going to go up one size in my nail dotting stylus tool. With your micro dotter, that could be the paints. And here's one thing that makes a big difference that I never realized I was doing before, Marie, is when you are using your micro dotter, right? If you pull it out and then tip it to the side, it immediately starts to expose the tip so that you don't really get a lot of dots. Okay, so if you pull the tool out of the paint and on its side, and you hold it like this, see how the paint is sliding up the tool and the tip of the tool? It's not going to give you dots, okay? So you have to make sure when you're using the dotting tool that, yeah, scooping the paint helps, but make sure that you're dotting and pulling straight out like this and keeping the tool tip facing down. See how many I got out of that? Right? So dip in and keep the tip facing down. Try that and see if that helps you, okay? Because when you, like I said, when you pull the tip out of the paint and on its side, the paint starts to roll down the tool, and then it's so thin, right? You can scoop, but just then hold it like this so it runs down. So scoop, but just don't turn it this way. Scoop, and because scooping still can help you get lots of good chunks out of there and a good amounts of paint out of there, but keep it pointing down after you scoop. So scooping is still very, very valuable, 100%. I don't use the micro dotter for dotting, but I love using a 0.5 mechanical pencil. Yes, that is very, very possible too. There's so many options, right? There's so many different things you can do. I used to use really sharp toothpicks. That was what I did before I had the micro dotter. And even with that, I still could never get the long lines of it. So you want something that the paint can slide off of a little. So yeah, if a pencil is what does that, work it for sure. So yes, you can totally still scoop, just make sure that you point it down, okay? So let's start here. We'll do another row. Another row of walking dots, and then we're gonna finish it off. We're gonna do some swoops. And this is going to be just as much for fun as for anything. I've also thought too, one of these ornaments with the red and the matte in the background would be super freaking cool with those paint bottles I got from Lydia May, hey? With those tips, Lydia May, eh? God, could I sound a little more Canadian? Maybe, just a little. But I think that would be kind of cool. I came across those coasters that I did back when I was still in the farmhouse, and that I did when I got those bottles, and those would be really cool designs to do. Give it a try and see if that tip works for you, okay? And and hopefully it does, but have a look. Saw the mechanical pencil trick on Erin's IG. It's a fantastic, there you go, perfect. So there's lots of options. This is the kind of stuff that I love that we can share together, right? And share these different tips, and because there's no surefire way. We all move differently. Our paints are different. Our surfaces are different. There's a lot of things that we can say, this is typically what we would do, but we're still our own people, right? Which means that we move differently. We hold the tools differently. We apply pressure differently. So any little things that we can share and say, hey, don't know if this is going to work for you, but I've managed to figure out how to make it work for me. Then let's share that stuff, right? That could be in the Facebook group, Dotting Tip Tuesday. And keep me posted and let me know how that works. Exactly, Catherine. We breathe different, right? It's why your stuff is never going to look exactly like somebody else's. You can get really, really close, but let yourself breathe and be you as well, right? Patterns are wonderful, but every single artist out there will tell you that take these patterns and then change up a little bit what you like, even just changing up the colors, changing up the size, changing what you're painting on. The patterns are meant to be applicable to so many different things and to help you develop the instincts of how these designs are put together, right? No rules to dotting except don't drink your paint water. Totally. Oh yeah, totally drank the paint water. That's a rite of passage. Yep, put the brush in coffee. Speaking of self-promotion, anybody here who has anything that they want to promote for themselves, drop it in the comments. Erin, if you've got any patterns you want, keep in mind that Erin also has a great conversion chart for her dotting tools from the different brands. So if that is something that would be helpful for you, please make sure that you have a look at that, because that could be really helpful for you. So Erin, any links that you want to share? Anybody else who is doing this as a business, feel free that you like. I see a bunch of short streaks of paint showering down the rest of that ball. So a bunch of walking dots. Yes. Sucked your Q-tip? Yep. Totally. You're just saying, nah. I see, but... So like icicles almost, eh, Jan? You're working on a chicken house? Bird house? You're welcome, Erin. Yeah. No lines, no walking dots. So just a bunch of swoops hanging down like icicles? Oh, birdhouse. I was like, a chicken bird house. What? Yeah, so if anybody has any links for their business or anything that's going on that they want to share here, you're more than welcome to. I'm happy you're getting some time to paint, Catherine. That's good. I know you've got a lot of work that you've been doing. Just my shameless plug of my friend's business. Yes, keep plugging that. If you're looking for wood cutouts, they're friggin' cute. How you have any money left? And how how her online store isn't filled with everything that you've ever wanted to paint, Kathy. Yeah, definitely check that out. Tea. Cleaned your brushes in fresh tea. Oh, that would be sad. I've done it with Pepsi and I've done it with water. Haven't done it with tea yet. She can probably make it if you ask. So yeah, everybody look at that link if you want some wood cutouts. That would be a good resource for you. All right, I'm going in for a few more swoops. We're doing some gold. We are gonna do a swoop that starts here and goes down to here. But I'm gonna put a green dot there actually to shorten that a little bit. Just to shorten that distance a little bit. I saw in other groups, someone posted a Canadian store stockade delivery. Oh, interesting. I'll have to take a look. Cool. Yeah, share that sort of stuff. Share all those kind of links together. All right, so I'm using a smaller dotting stylus tool, and I'm gonna kind of put it in the middle a little bit. Just slowly. When it's really off center, I just move it just that little bit. That's barely noticeable, but I notice it. I think the icicles would look good too on the navy blue one, Jan, with if I use the 3 different blues, or even the 2 different blues and some white. That would look cool, eh? These are gonna be fun. They're gonna take a while. They're gonna be fun. All right. I'm gonna start with this one where it's a nice smooth spot. Like so. Yeah, that's all right, eh? Here we go. Let's get over this. This is going to be... I thought that was going to cause more problems than it did. That's good. All right. All right, then. I'm also going to be putting out a live schedule for next week. I'm going to be going live a lot. I think I've got it down in the schedule that I'm going to go live 6 times next week, including the Saturday tutorial. So I will post that soon, what the schedule will be for next week. Just a little caveat for you guys, though, since you're here, just know that should I get calls that, my mom gets into the shoulder clinic or she gets into the MRI clinic or something like that, because we're still waiting to do some more tests and to talk to them about her surgery, then some of them might end up getting postponed or canceled. But as of today, I have a schedule ready for next week. So I will post that up, and it's going to be all 3 platforms. It's going to be Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All right, let's keep going. So we're going to be going live a lot more. A lot more this week, which is fantastic. Yay! I don't feel like that's doing what I want it to do. I'll try it again anyway. Oh, but look at that. Almost like I planned it or something. Went right over. I don't care if it looks identical. It's fine. Now with all I see with the gold and the white, all I see is McDonald's. So that kind of brushing movement that I'm doing can help you stretch your paint a lot, especially I saw Art of Points doing that, where they kind of just start to brush it down, and that helps them stretch their paint out a lot. Now, depending on the paint you're using, you might see these little imperfections and some kind of drag marks. So make sure you go back over and kind of backfill them in there. I've been doing a live in Christina's group Tuesday at noon. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Kathy. So yeah, Tuesdays. Jump on that with Kathy then. We'll figure them out for sure. Crazy day, s'mores for breakfast, now Captain Crunch. Berries for lunch. Whatever works, my dear. I hope you'll be able to make them too, Marie. I'll check and see what times they are. I know that there's a couple that I did for 11 a.m. Eastern. I think that's the earliest that I did, though. I think I did a couple 11 or 12. So hopefully that'll help. What time is it there now, Kathy? What time it is where Kathy is? Mom comes first. I know, thank you. 8 p.m. Friday and Monday, Elizabeth? Thanks, Kathy. All right, let's see. So this is where we're at so far. Again, still looks like a tomato, but I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. I'm fine with tomatoes. We're good. So we're gonna use the green again. Okay, perfect. Friday nights I do my mug painting party. Friday nights from 7 until 9. So that one won't be affected, and I will make sure that I don't do anything at 8 p.m. on Mondays. So no worries. 8:35 p.m. in South Africa. Okay, good. Okay, awesome. All right. Yeah, sometimes sometimes you just do what you gotta do. Sometimes the sugar just does it for you. All right, so we're gonna do a backward swoop here. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Let's just see if I can manage. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if this is doing anything for my spacing, but maybe it's working. We'll find out. 1, 2, 3. 3. I think it looks like they're pretty darn close to the same. 7:35. Okay. So yeah, I'll send out those times a little later. Hopefully there'll be some that you can do that. My husband's life is done. Date nights with Jamie, Christine, and the girls. Poor hubby. Poor hubby. 1, 2, 3. So for those of you that are doing this as a business, please keep in mind the amount of time that things like this take you. And as much as I suck at marketing my own products, I do understand when I have undersold myself when it comes to physical products, right? Because there's some formulas that you can put in there. So I think that just make sure that you are taking care of yourself financially if you are doing this as a business. I'm still not great at pricing my items, but I'm a heck of a lot better than I used to be. And when something takes this kind of time, like this is probably a good 2 to 3 hour project. Give yourself a decent hourly wage. Pay yourself more than minimum wage, right? Just do the best you can to make sure that you are getting compensated, okay? So many people will say, okay, so my hourly rate is going to be minimum wage. No. No, 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 no. I don't do a huge hourly wage, but I know that I am worth more than $15 an hour, you know? I do $20 an hour. Well, that's looking pretty. All right, let's go into the green again. The green again. We're going to do a large dot this time, again. We are going to do a size 11. Are we? Yes. Yes, that is what we're going to do. That one. Whoop. This little candle holder is the perfect size, though. And candle holder for Canadians, I got it at Dollarama. I sent Dollarama an email the other day asking them if I could bulk order piggy banks, and they told me that if it's not on their website, they can't do bulk orders for the product. I'm like, well, you don't have squat on your website that helps me. Maybe bubble wrap. That's about it. So next we try for a sponsorship. That's the next one. And hopefully the plaid affiliate group would come back as well. That would be nice. I had requested some product from them. One of the things I had requested is some glass etching, and that would be so fun. There's so much fun stuff out there. So much stuff to try. I think, Jan, when you're talking about swoops in the shape of icicles on this, I think that that's something you could start on this right from this first row up here, like that first row, or sorry, the last row of white. We could just start doing upside down swoops that whole way and have them interlock. Maybe that's something I'll do on another design. I'll buy a couple others of these, a couple more of these. There's a huge difference in the pricing here compared to you in Canada and the US. I mean, huge, at least from my, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And shipping comes into a lot of it, right? Because for a lot of products, you have to work shipping into the cost of the item, which doesn't always work out because, you do that looking at an average cost per item. So sometimes the seller loses money on those ones, and sometimes they're ahead money. It's so weird. There's so much to think of. It's an awful lot, and it's so hard to look at from all of the different areas where you want to be able to sell your product, and seeing where all of that stuff is. So yeah, I think that would be a really cool design, Jan, if we started one up here and did like just these first few rows of the dots just to center it and get it in there. And then you could even start up here with little tiny swoops and slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger and drag them all the way down, right? That'd be kind of neat. I like the idea too of what I was kind of doing on the teapots, which is a design from the top down and then have a design from the bottom up and have them kind of meet and interlock in the middle. That would take quite a bit of planning to make sure you get your spacing right and you lay down your dots in the right spot and just not have it be arbitrary, right? But that could be really interesting too. When on the teapot, it was completely arbitrary. I just went with it. How about I paint in camera? And maybe that's something we should talk about one day. It's something that I don't do, is plan. So maybe we should plan out some mandalas together and see what we can come up with. If Molly was on, I would be telling her to pay attention to the pricing, right? The same problem, people don't want to pay. And that's the hard part too. And then we end up downgrading what we sell for because we are trying to match the people who are telling us that they don't want to buy, as opposed to saying, that's okay, you're not my ideal client then. You're not my ideal customer then. Because my ideal customer will have no problem paying what I charge, right? And I think that's one of the things that comes into the marketing strategy is, who am I marketing to? Am I marketing to my friends who make the same amount of money as me? And for some products, yes, right? But it's looking at, if tips can sell a paper clip for $10,000, I can sell a Christmas ornament for $100. You know what I mean? Like there's some of that sort of stuff to really dig into for that. And yes, Jan, you have a crap ton of talent. You do. Quite lucky that I was left some money and invested in paints, etc. We do pay about double for Americana, but for me it was super worth it. Some stuff is super hard to get, it's so frustrating. Well, but you know what? Maybe there's things that we can do with that, Marie. Maybe we can go shopping for you and then send it over. I wonder if shipping is easier to get to you if we send it to you as like a care package as opposed to a product that you're ordering. Like if I was to send you a box with some paints, I wonder what that would cost you shipping wise compared to ordering direct from Michael's, right? Because I'd do that. We can look at the cost of that sort of stuff and see. Elizabeth's doing wood slices. Some people are selling for 10, some 24. 2 coats of gesso, glitter, dotting, varnish. I still think 24 is still something you can do that with. Do 24 for sure. Yes, Erin, it is. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Michael's is my big dream. So what helps with that shape, Jan, is really having this one to go to, because I'm not paying attention to this dot except for the width, and I'm trying to center it on that bottom one, right? So having that other point of reference helps me with that. I've seen 12 by 12 canvas from between 200 and 400. I'd be lucky. I still think that there's a lot more that you could do with that, Marie. And maybe, again, that's stuff that we can talk about in the Facebook group and be building people up and say, if you want to start a business, this is where you start, right? This is how you find your audience, right? If you're just looking to sell locally, if you're just looking to sell through people that you know, you're not going to find that audience of people who would have no problem spending that money. Now, the other option too is what else can you do with the art that's on that canvas, right? Can you take a photo of it and put it onto notebooks, coasters, cell phone cases, and sell that sort of stuff to help that one piece of art have a little bit more life, right? There's so much you can do with that sort of stuff. You can create prints, you can create t-shirts and hoodies with your design, you can create posters, you can create puzzles, you can create all kinds of different stuff. And most of those places, there are stores that you can set up on their platform for free, and then they have the cost of what it costs you to order it, and then you can put your own markup on it, right? A couple of those would be Redbubble is a big one. Society 6 is another one. So maybe it's not about how do you get a higher price for your original, but what can you do with that original to create other products that could sell as well, right? Yeah, prices between Canada and the US, all those layers. Well, and that's the thing, right? You got to look at what you're, and how much time you're actually doing that for, right? How many ornaments are you getting done in every single hour? And the only way to do that is to do time trials and say, all I'm going to do today is I'm going to time myself every time I'm sitting down and working, whether it's on resin, whether it's on a layer, whether it's whatever it is, I'm going to time each and every project. Or I'm just going to look at the overall time I spend for the day, and then I'm going to divide that by how many pieces I created to get your average hour per item. I don't think that people are as... Well, and that's the thing, looking at other people, like it's, and not assuming that you know the entire customer base. That's the hard part. And looking at selling internationally, selling on things like Redbubble, you don't carry any inventory. They make the product for you and they ship it out to the customer for you. All you got to do is set up the store and put your pictures on some stuff, right? So you don't have to carry any inventory. You don't have to worry about shipping. They take care of all of it. The other one, so I use one called Art of Wear. Gooten, Gooten is one. Society 6 is one. Gooten works if you have a website. So I integrate Gooten with my Shopify website, and I plan to grow that quite a bit. Gooten is one. Art of Wear is another, where you can integrate with your Shopify or leave it as its own marketplace. So Art of Wear, Society 6, Redbubble, printerstudio.com is one that you can create decks of cards and coasters and magnets and all that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of them out there. A lot depends on your audience too. If you're in a crafty environment, think people want, yes, very, very good point. Art is different than crafts, right? Crafty people are not going to spend a ton of money on it. They're just not. Really good point. So again, it's about finding your audience, right? Finding where the best place is for you to get your stuff out there. Okay, I'm going to try something different because, again, this is a practice one, right? This isn't anything that we're living and dying by here. So I want to try something here. So I'm loading a bunch of paint here. I think I like that. Let's try that again. It's kind of cool, eh? I'll do a few more and then we'll zoom out and look at it from behind. From behind. Zoom out and look at it from far away. What am I looking at from behind? It's the balls. I'd rather look at them from behind. I feel like on ornaments like this too, in larger spaces like this, going quite so tiny with the dots was not necessarily necessary. That maybe it was a little too fine detail. We could have gone with some larger dots and still created a really pretty, intricate, delicate design without it being quite so tiny. What a vision. You're welcome. No, I meant that hopefully you couldn't see it and you just see her rear end instead. I'd take that any day. Telling you, you guys are on fire. Okay, let's see here. So that looks kind of cool. I need to do the other side, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do it from up this way. So let's try this. There we go. I think that's working out. So yeah, this is going to be a big project. No, nobody gives me any brain cells. They know I wouldn't do anything with them anyway. I'd just kill them. Jerry Lynn, I surely did not. Yeah, I feel like it's slightly too fine detail. I'm not really sure why, but I feel, or it's a mix of fine and not so fine. I'm not really sure. It's fun though. It's a fun surface to paint on. It's very easy to paint on it. There we go. I've been just trying to decide if I'm gonna make my own balls today or mushroom pendants. Ooh. Balls or mushrooms for Jerry Lynn. So that's from the side, that's from the top. I think we could keep going, couldn't we? We can easily keep going. I'm gonna get new lighting too, you guys, because I know this lighting is crap. But we're doing all right, I think. I think it would be cool to maybe wrap a band and create more bands of these solid dots around the middle and work our way back down. That would be kind of cool too. And to delete your response. Oh, that would be good. Washi tape would be good. So yeah, there's so many different ways that you can create products and get more money out of one item, right? And make it last longer. Create some recurring income with it. Have a bunch of marbles I need to make, but I also have 0 mushroom pendants. I think then you need to do mushroom pendants then. I think mushroom pendants is the way to go. I think. Don't you think? Well, this is it for today. So we'll keep painting this. I'll make sure I post about that. Thank you to anybody who shoots me a message so that we can talk about the Facebook group and maybe even brainstorm some more on the Patreon. And I'd like to get myself a task list so that I know what steps I need to take in order to make those changes and get some of that stuff done. But I really appreciate you guys listening and brainstorming with me, and I'm really excited for all that's to come. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this a little more. I love you guys. I think you lost them, and yes, I'm referring to your marbles. Yeah. If they're super quick to make, Jerry Lynn, then that can give you a bunch of inventory. And the worst thing that happens is they don't all sell at the show, right? And you do a sale on your website for Christmas and Black Friday. Totally. She made backups. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for today. I have thoroughly enjoyed spending this time with you guys today. I am looking forward to the next time already. I will post the live schedule by end of day tomorrow. Going to visit my dad tomorrow morning, so it'll be sometime tomorrow afternoon or evening. May even be tonight. I'm not really sure, but at the absolute latest by then. And yeah, if you have any questions, suggestions, things you want me to do, whether you want to be a part of helping me run the Facebook group or not, totally fine. Let me know what you want to see and what you want to do in these things, and I'll make sure that we start creating a list. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. And I'll look forward to spending more time with you again real soon. I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves, okay? Had a ball. Wah, wah, wah. I love it. Love it, you guys. This was a great afternoon. We'll talk to you again really soon. Love you guys. Bye, Colleen. Bye, Elizabeth. Love you. Mwah.